Write from dictation is part of your listening. Okay, and it comes at when?
And
At the end.
Write from dictation is the last task that you will be doing for your exam. Okay, write from dictation is the last task that you will be doing for your exam. All right. Now, in speaking and writing, time management is automated. That means every single task has its own allocated time. Reading and listening is self-managed. That means you will get time for that entire section and you'll have to manage the time along with the question. Okay. In listening, only summarized spoken text is automated. That means you will get 10 minutes for each summary. After 10 minutes, it will automatically take you to the next question. Now, suppose I got 10 minutes for each summary and I got 2 summaries. How many minutes will I get in total? 20 minutes. Now, suppose I finish one of my summary in 5 minutes and I click next. Will that 5 minutes be added to the rest of these tasks?
No.
No, that's just separate. From here to all the way here, you will get between 23. To give you an idea, what did I say right from dictation? Is it number 1 or number 2 in PT?
1.
One.
1, right? MCQ contributes per question. MCQ contributes 1 marks per question out of not even 90, by the way. It's just 1%. That means out of 91% is 0.9%. No, 0.9 marks. Right from dictation, per question, I can get up to 12 marks. That is straight out of 90. So whenever we are doing right from dictation, remember at the end, you will need to save at least 5 to 6 minutes. All right. So at the end, how many minutes should I need to save?
5 to 6.
5 to 6 minutes.
All right. How many questions do I get for right from dictation? 3 to 4. Okay.
4.
I will get 3 to 4 questions and I will need to save 5 to 6 minutes. If I have 3 questions, I'll save 5 minutes. If I have 4 questions, I'll save 6 minutes. Got it?
Yep.
Now, what is right from dictation is the same as repeat sentence. The only difference is in right from dictation, when you listen to that sentence, what do you have to do?
To write.
You have to write it. So the marks are going where?
Writing.
Listening and
Listening
Writing.
and writing.
listening and writing. Okay. So the only difference between repeat sentence and right from dictation is the output. So input is the same. You listen to an audio. For repeat sentence, output is you speak. For right from dictation, output is you write the whole sentence. The way right from dictation is marked is a bit different from your repeat sentences. Repeat sentences was based on what? The marking?
Oral fluency, content.
Yeah, but the
pronunciation.
content, I'm talking about just the content part. How was content marked in repeat sentences? Based on?
Or
Keywords.
use keywords. Yeah.
phrases.
Sequence. Based on sequence.
Phrases.
Phrases?
Sequences. Yeah.
Guys, phrases is referring to retail lecture. We're not looking at that. Repeat sentence was based on, look at this, content, 100%. 100% of what?
Sequences.
Sequence. That means each and every word needed to be in the exact same place. Okay. Now, in right from dictation, you get marks based on 1 mark for 1 correct word correctly spelled. Again, 1 mark for 1 correct word correctly spelled. Got it? That means if I have 10 words in a sentence and I have written all 10 words and I've spelled them correctly, will I get 10 marks?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about
Even if it is like
now?
not in the
Suppose
same order.
Yeah. Now, suppose the sequence said, I would like to eat fish and chips, but I wrote, I would like to eat chips and fish. Will I get marks?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, you will. Okay. So sequence is not important, as important. Not if I say it's not important, it's wrong. Sequence is not as important as it is in repeat sentences. A summarized written text doesn't, and write from dictation doesn't take more than 1 minute to write, okay? But I'm still saving a bit more than 1 minute. Why? Because I need to make sure that my sequence is grammatically correct. Understood? I need to be careful about my spellings. Now, these spellings include singular and plural word, by the way. All right. So suppose the word was spelling and I wrote, suppose the word was spellings and I wrote spelling. Will I get marks?
No.
At all. Okay.
No.
Suppose the word was spelled and you wrote spell. Will you get marks?
Nope.
No. So that includes the grammar as well. Okay. Then we have capitalization. What is capitalization?
Capitalizing the first
I-
word.
Uppercase, the first
word?
letter.
Capital
Yeah,
case.
uppercase,
I.
the first letter, or any proper noun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
proper name.
Okay, so remember, a proper noun needs to be capitalized as well. It's not just the first letter, it also has to be proper noun. Any name, any place of like a country or city or a place, those needs to be capitalized. Those need to be capitalized. Clear?
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, question. Suppose I missed in here, I wrote the sentence, right? I would like to eat chips and fish, but I missed this first word. So my first word over here is would like to eat. Should I capitalize the word would or not?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, you must. Okay.
because it's the beginning of a sentence.
Yes. Otherwise, you will not get marks for your writing. Okay. Make sense? All right. One more thing. Next thing is punctuations. What type of punctuations can we expect?
Commas,
Comma.
Commas. Yep. Very common.
Comma,
full stops,
Full
question
stop.
marks.
Yep. And remember, it
exclamation marks.
doesn't matter whether I have a full sentence or not. At the end of a sentence, what do I need?
full
Full
stop.
stop.
Yeah, remember that one full stop is going to be the difference between a 78 and 79. Remember that. You didn't put one full stop and you ended up getting 78. Why didn't you get 79?
Because of one full stop.
How much money do you have to spend for that one full stop? Remember that, okay? So understand that value of that full stop. All right. So be careful, okay? So punctuations are obviously important. So I get comma, I get full stops. Anything else I can get?
Question mark?
Question marks, yes, you can, but it's not that often. All right. What is another one that I can get a lot, or I usually get a lot?
Exclamation point?
Not exclamations. Think about it.
Semicolon?
How do I understand a semicolon from an audio? Is there any way to understand a semicolon from an audio?
No.
No. So I'm not getting semicolon. I'm going to get a comma, I'm going to get a full stop, and there's one more thing that I get. What is this? Over here.
Inverted comma.
Apostrophe.
Apostrophe.
Or an inverted comma. All right. Now that is very, very important. All right. Which brings us to the next word, which is called contracting words. Now, guys, how do we understand a comma, by the way?
It's a small pause.
There's a small pause, right? So suppose it says, suppose it said, the sentence was like, the impact of globalization in the year 2020 will be felt tremendously by developing countries. Do you have any commas there? Again, I'll repeat that, all right? The impact of globalization in the year 2020 will be felt tremendously by developing countries.
After 2020, there's a comma.
Just one or two?
After
Two.
globalization and after 2020.
Absolutely, okay. As opposed to if the sentence was like, the impact of globalization in the year 2020 will be felt tremendously by developing countries. Any commas there?
No.
No. Okay, because that was without any pauses or any break in that sentence. Clear? Now, contracting words are generally words like didn't, wouldn't, shouldn't, couldn't, these things. Generally, in writing, you don't get those sort of words because writing is more formal. Okay, but because we have seen from time to time, they exchange the audio. So some audios that are in repeat sentences, they can also put that in right from dictation. So you can expect to get contracting words. Now, suppose I'm right, there was a sentence with a contracting words, but I'm not sure whether it said didn't or did not. What should I write?
Did not.
Did not.
Always follow the formal method for writing if you're not sure. But if you heard it correctly and you're sure 100%, then
Didn't.
didn't. Then what do I need to put there?
Did not.
No, didn't. Didn't is correct, but how do I write didn't? With an
Oh, apostrophe.
Apostrophe.
yeah, make sure that apostrophe is there because otherwise you're gonna end up losing marks for that word. Got it? All right. Now, suppose the sentence said, the lecture will cost you $3,000. How do we write $3,000?
In numbers.
So numbers and symbol are accepted as long as you follow the academic method. Okay, so you can
Sorry,
write
what does that mean?
symbols. Now, what do I mean by academic method? So when I'll write that sentence down, suppose, where was it? Suppose the sentence was, and the lecture will cost $2,000. Is this correct?
No. Yeah.
If I'm writing number, I need to put symbol.
Okay.
Now I can't do this. Got it?
Okay. But can we write like 2000 in numbers and then like
This is also accepted. Okay. But generally symbols are accepted, numbers are accepted. So if you're writing numbers, better to use always symbols. Okay.
No. My question was like,
if you're writing dollars and you
Yeah.
end up suppose writing this, then that's you're losing unnecessary marks.
so like, can we write $2,000 in like words?
Yep, you can, but why would I risk misspelling it?
Yeah.
Understand? Why would I write $2,000? That how long will it take me to write $2,000? As opposed to just writing understand? Why would I make that effort? I'm just gonna write the easy way. Right? Now, when I write 6 p.m., do you see how the PM is wrote?
Yeah.
Small or cap?
Must be capital.
Small. If I write PM like this, is this okay?
No.
No. Right from dictation is how many sentences?
One.
If I put that full stop there, is there any difference between a dot and full stop?
No.
No, that's going to give me a 0 because I'm writing more than 2 sentences or 1 sentence, sorry. Yeah. So be mindful of that. If it says today our lecture will be on the 6th floor. I can write like this, okay? But here you see that there's a superscript, right? In the exam, I won't have a superscript. So you can put 6th without a superscript, don't worry, okay? But don't put a
we can use an superscript in exam or not?
No, unfortunately not, because there's no autocorrect. And there's no way you can use a superscript and with using the keyboard. Let's go through the strategy. So what is the strategy? Now I'm going to teach you guys only two, right? Nothing else other than that. I will teach you only two strategies you guys are going to get from me. One for repeat sentence and one for write from dictation. All right, give me a second. Let me share my screen with you guys. All right, so whenever we listen to an audio, whether it's repeat sentence or write from dictation, we have to take notes. Okay, there's no other way. So how are we going to be taking notes? Based on what is this?
Initial.
Okay.
Initials.
Initial. So what do I mean by initials? Basically, what you have to do is to write down the first letter of the word. Got it?
No, sorry, can you repeat that?
So when you listen to the sentence,
Mhm.
you just need to take the notes in initials.
Okay.
Now, is that difficult to try at the beginning? 100% it is. But this requires a little bit of practice. Once you've practiced this, you're going to be incredibly effective in doing repeat sentences and write from dictation. Why? When I do this, do I have sequence here, guys?
Yep.
Yep. So that will be taken care of. The other thing is, I told you guys that your brain is capable of remembering how many words? Up to
8.
two phrases, right? 8 words.
Mm.
So you'll see that your brain remembers only this part and maybe up to this part. But what about the rest of these? Gone, right? Why? Because you don't have any point of reference, right? So in order to remember sentences with more than 8 words, we need to use this. This is an incredible way of also making sure that suppose the sentence had a plural word, what we can do is put a dot on top of it. When we're taking those notes, we'll just put a dot. That dot represents what?
Plural.
Plural words. Now you can make this any way you want, all right? So suppose a lot of the times the things that you forget in a sentence are these. All right? So what can I do? For I can make a symbol. For the, I can make a symbol. So whenever I hear the word the, I'll just put that dot or a T or a plus. Got it? And that helps me with note taking a lot. So this is however way I want to, organize my sentences, I can do it. But this is the best method. Why? Because when you're taking initials, you are repeating that same sentence in your head. And when you're taking initials, you are spelling every single word in your head. So what happens? You remember the sentence longer. Okay. Now, I read this sentence 5 minutes ago, okay? And I didn't repeat this. Let's try and see how many of it can we remember. What was this first word? Any idea?
Basically.
Yeah. Basically, then what was this?
What?
What?
You.
You
have
have
To.
to do
is
is
To.
to
to
write
write down
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 Write down.
the first
the first
letter of
letter of
of
the word.
the word.
word or words.
Words.
Got it?
What?
Now, I've said this one time and I've read it once only. And that was 5 minutes ago. How many? What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So based on my initials, you remembered 16 words that I've said 5 minutes ago. All right. So this strategy works. The only issue is that, yes, it is a bit tricky at the beginning to take your notes like this because you're not used to. But I assure you, 100% of the time, this is the most effective strategy that you're going to come across. Now, for write from dictation time management, is it on me or is it automated?
On us.
On you, right? So, and
On
how
you.
many minutes did I ask you to save?
6.
5 to 6.
5 to 6.
So per question, it's about 1.5 minutes, right? Like rightly about 90 seconds. Now, why? Is suppose I forgot this first word, because a lot of you don't remember this first word. But you remember the rest of it, right?
Yeah.
So write down the rest of it and then try to figure out what this B word was. Okay? And then if you can figure out, it's good. If not, you still have 15 words out of 16. Now the question is that for repeat sentence, can I use the exact same strategy? For repeat sentence, time management, is it on me or is it automated?
Automated.
Automated.
Now, after the audio, how many seconds will I get maximum?
3.
3, right? But I need to start speaking within
1 second.
within 1 or 2 seconds, right? Because if I wait till 3 seconds, what happens?
Microphone closes.
Microphone.
So I don't have the time to figure out what each of these words were. And also at the same time, is it possible for me to finish note taking before the audio or exactly at the same time as the audio?
No.
No, not at all, because you're listening to it and then taking notes, right? You're not simultaneously taking notes based on what you can hear. You're taking it after a few words you listen to, right? So you can never be able to finish note taking right on when the audio finishes. So by the time you finish taking your notes, what will happen?
You have to speak.
You run out of time.
So generally, for repeat sentences, what we do is something called half and half. That means we will take initials of the first half and remember the last half. Okay. The first half, I'm taking initials. Second half, I'm doing what?
Remember.
Okay. Now, generally, the last part of the sentence is easy for people to remember. Why? Because that's the last thing you heard. Understand? It's mostly the first part that you will forget. So that's why we take initials of the first part and try to remember the second part. Got it?
Yep.
So for repeat sentences, we are going to use half and half. For write from dictation, we are going to use initials.